All right, I'm going to go out on a limb today and I'm going to give you the exact day and the exact price that Bitcoin is going to bottom before we get our bounce and our retrace before the next leg down and the beginning of our alt season. So I've been looking at the charts and I'm going to share my charts here real quick to kind of show you what I've been looking at. And here we have the Bitcoin price chart today. And I've got this on a daily time frame. And there's been a lot of talk out there about how similar these patterns are. You have your head and shoulders patterns. You have this little downtrend that we experienced basically from May through the July bottom of 2021. Then we had our little rebound. Then we set a new all-time high. And now we're back in that downtrend again, very similar price action of a downtrend of what was going on over here with Bitcoin earlier in 2021. So what's interesting is everybody's been talking about the death cross here. And today we had the death cross actually happen right here. So we don't know what closing price. So the only caveat to this video is until we get the exact closing price, I can't tell you exactly, within the dollar of where Bitcoin will bottom, but I'll give you within the parameters of where we close today. So it'll probably be within $1,000 or so, unless we get a big move up or down from here. We're in the 42.9 range right now. I feel like we're going to close somewhere around there. We might close at 40. We might close 42, somewhere around there. So we'll take a look at that in a second. But here's what I found. And let's take a look at this. The last death cross that we had was right here on June 20th of 2021, or actually June 19th of 2021. So if we measure from the peak, and that would have been 13th of April 2021, so April 13th, 2021, if we measure from the peak until the day the death cross happened, June 19th, 2021, that's 67 days. Now watch this. If you take the peak day, the last green candle is what I'm measuring, and you could do it on any day, but that peak was the 8th of November, 2021. Of course, that was the last green day I'm measuring. We could make it from the last red day as well, or the peak of the candle, but I'm just going from this green day here. And you measure over, let's do that again. You measure over from the death cross, from this point to the intersection of the death cross, which is the 14th of January, 2022, which is today, 67 days. So how do you like that? So from the peak, and you can measure it anywhere you want. You can measure it on the actual, where we finished down that day with a red candle, but we had a wick on the peak there. That would have been 66 days. You could do the same thing over here, measure it from that last red candle wick over to here, 67 days. So that, or 66 days. So we had from the exact peak to the death cross, both times the death cross occurred in the exact same amount of days. So what happened after that? Well, let's take a look. So if you go from here, the first time where the death cross occurred, it actually occurred and closed on a red day, on a down day. And let's take that was about 35,500. So we're going to go from there to the bottom, which was the June, and I'm using closing candles, which was July bottom. That's about a 16% decline. So if we go over here and we take a look at where we're at today, and we can even go to an hourly here, just to kind of get a little bit better of a read. And if we make some assumptions here, and let's say we close somewhere around, let's just say we close around 42,000. We're a little bit up right now. Well, we'll just close it right here, just right on the bottom of the last red candle. That's 42.9, that'd be 43. So the top of this range was 43.2, the bottom's 42.8. So let's just say, worst case scenario, let's just say 42.5 we close today at 42.5, and then we go down 15% from there. That's going to put us at, I've got to give myself some more room here. 15% down from there. Let's go back to the daily so I can get some more room on the chart here. And let's say at 42.5, 42.5 is right about there. We go down 15%. These aren't exact numbers, but we're going to get close to it. That's going to be right around, let's call it 36. Let's just call it around 36 36,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. And if you look at that range, that $36,000 range, that's right over here at the top side of the resistance of that last little downtrend in July before we bottomed out and moved on. So what can we expect from here? Well, we can expect, how long was that? So from the death cross happening to the bottom, that was approximately 31 days. So basically we're looking at 31 days. So this death cross happened June 19th of 2021, and the bottom was the 20th of July, 2021. So about a month. So from here today, we're at the 14th of January, 2022. We can be looking around February 14th of 2022 for the bottom, and then the ultimate retrace. And what are we looking at there? Well, if you take your Fibonacci's and look at what's typically common from a retracement standpoint. So Fibonacci retracement from the peak to the bottom is the 618 to 702, somewhere in that range. So we're looking at 57 to 60,000 that we can expect 1 month from now, that Bitcoin will start its path to 57 to 60,000, and altcoins will be firing like crazy. That will be the beginning of the altcoin season, beginning of the Bitcoin retracement back to those levels, which, who knows how long that could possibly take. But we can take a look over here and let's see what happened from the peak to the trough there. There's your 618 retrace right there before we bottomed again and went back. And let's see how long that took. So from that point, let's say from the bottom to the peak of the retrace took an additional 49 days. So if we're looking at February 14th for a bottom, then we could retrace back up another 49 days from there, which puts you into April, May, early May for the peak of that retrace and the peak of the altcoin season. And then we'll just have to see where we're at there and what the markets look like at that point. We're having a down day on Wall Street today. And as you know, cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin are highly correlated to the stock market. If the stock market's up, Bitcoin generally is going to be up. If the stock market's down, Bitcoin and cryptos are generally going to be down. So that's just a real quick update on what I'm seeing in the charts and where we could be headed and how many days it'll take to get there. Of course, anything can happen if we get a black swan event, if COVID rears its ugly head and gets really bad again, if the stock market really starts to sell off and tank, that can put a kink into things and really change the direction, the trajectory of things. Of course, we know that the Fed put is off, so risk assets are delevering. So you got to take all that into consideration. But we are seeing very similar price action, almost identical type of price action. And based on the last price action timeframes, bottoms, and retraces, if we follow those patterns, then that should give us a really good indication of what to expect here in the near term. So I will see you on the next video.